Muree bin Ali bin Issa al-Asiri. The man was just executed today in 2012 for witchcraft and sorcery. Now, it was in a different culture in Saudi Arabia where they are very insular and they don't look at things the same way that we do. They have much greater religious fervor in their country. But I'd like to tell you all a story. Back before the turn of the century, towards the end of 1999, I was in the U.S. Army and I was stationed in Korea. And right before New Year's, a couple of things had happened. North Korea had shot some missiles over South Korea, and North Koreans had berthed a submarine right below Pusan, and I'm sure that the guy piloting the submarine got a medal in North Korea. You know, if the same thing had happened the other way around, it'd be a court-martial for the captain of a submarine in the U.S. Navy. But, you know, for all the trouble that berthing caused with alerts and people having to be on guard in the U.S. Army in South Korea, I'm pretty sure that captain got a medal. Anyways, there was a lot of tension. And a lot of people who were, like me, not religious or of not the Christian religion. Some people were already pagans. They were exploring Buddhism and Shintoism because they were in a foreign country and they just wanted to learn about it. We would notice that with the coming new year, and it being the Millennium, that a lot of Christians were getting edgy. Edgy in a very bad way. It was as if they were expecting Jesus to come down on a flaming comet and be ushered in by Y2K, which would shut down all the security locks on all the nuclear weapons, and there'd be just this giant apocalypse with Jesus riding in on that comet like a surfboard and just, you know, bringing a whole bunch of devastation with him. They were edgy, you know. And some of my friends had come from different installations than I had. Previous to being in Korea, I was stationed in Fort Lewis, Washington. But some of my friends were stationed in Fort Hood. Now, in Fort Hood, my pagan friends had a bit of a problem because there was actually a witch hunt going on. There was a certain reverend, his name was Jack Harvey, and he was the pastor of Tabernacle Independent Baptist Church. And he used to say things like, the army needs to take their napalm and burn all the witches out of itself, you know, out of its own army. And they would put up signs, burn the witches off Fort Hood, you know. And they would protest outside of Fort Hood. They would take rides from Killeen and right up to the gates. You guys can probably find news articles about all those things happening. But yeah, my friends had already been through witch hunts, and around the same time, a representative in the United States Congress, his name was Bob Barr, he was actually proposing laws that would say that Wicca was banned in the U.S. Now, his laws didn't go anywhere, but the fact that he was proposing it really woke up that community. They were like, whoa, you know, what about religious freedom? You hypocrites, you know, and it made quite a stir. And what was really noticed about those people in Korea at the Millennium when they were stationed overseas, and New Year's was coming and they were getting edgier and edgier, and they were finding places to pray that you wouldn't believe that a prayer group would just break out in the middle of a soccer field in the middle of a Camp Humphreys for no reason other than people just got freaked out again in the middle of the afternoon. It happened, okay? And what was noticed was the people who were the most discriminatory towards pagan soldiers, towards atheists such as myself, and the people who wouldn't even recognize that as an atheist I was not a Satanist and would just lump me in with those groups. Those people were the people who believed most fervently that their Lord and Savior was coming with the Millennium. Those people that had the Millennium fever the worst were the people who believed the worst of the pagans. They believed that Ouija boards were, somehow magically endowed with the power to, connect you to dead spirits and Satan. That was my keyboard. My mouse pad is actually a Ouija board, just as a joke. Because I find it hilarious. There is no magic in it at all. Okay? I've never seen any magic come from it. I've seen no evidence from any reputable source that would tell me that there's magic in that Ouija board. But people believe it. They believe that people who are religiously not them are associated with evil, and magically so, and they're going to attack them. And the people that believe it the most are the people who believe the most that their own gods, their own beliefs are somehow going to give them some source of magic, something that will make their life better. So I really want you guys to think about this. If you're a religious person, is your religious fervor making you hate people who are not part of your religion? I think we should all at least take a moment out of our lives to recognize that Mr. Asiri, he didn't need to die today.